This video will help you go from a graph to writing an equation in y equals mx plus or minus b form. We'll start by finding the y-intercept, which will be the last part of the equation. In order to find the y-intercept, we follow the y-axis until our line hits the y-axis. This green dot marks that point. This point is at positive 4. So in our equation, we will have a positive 4 at the end of the equation. Next, we'll have to find the slope, which will go here before the x. In order to find the slope, we're going to look for how far up we will have to rise and how far over we will have to run to go from two different points on our line. Let's start at where we made our y-intercept. We'll go up 2 and over 1. And we'll very neatly meet our line at two corners of the boxes so we can tell we're at a whole number. We have now risen 2 and gone over 1. So our slope will be 2 over 1, which we can simply write as 2. We now put that in our equation, and our final equation is y equals 2x plus 4. Another important thing to consider when trying to write an equation from a graph is how do you know if the slope is positive or negative? Just like you read from left to right, you can use this to determine if the slope is positive or negative. If I start on the left side of the graph and my line gradually moves up from left to right, then I will have a positive slope. If I start on the left side and my line moves down, then I know my slope will be negative. This is something important to consider. Now let's try some practice problems. We'll do number 1 together. As I complete it, record how we found the answer on your notes. Then you will pause the video and try numbers 2 and 3 on your own. When you finish trying them on your own, unpause the video and I will show you the answers. Let's start with number 1. Let's begin by finding the y-intercept. Follow the y-axis until we meet our line at this point. This point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Positive 5. So the end of our equation will be plus 5. Now we need to find the slope. So we'll start at that line, or at that point, excuse me. We'll follow it up and then over until we meet another corner. We have now gone up 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. So the slope of our line is 1/4 x. Now our equation we know is y equals 1/4 x plus 5. Now you pause the video and try numbers 2 and 3. We'll now check our answers to 2 and 3. The y-intercept of number 2 is right at this point, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our y-intercept is positive 6. Now let's try to find the slope. I'm noticing that our line is going down from left to right, so I know that the slope will be negative. Now I have to find out how far we go up and over to get from one point to the next. I'm going to start here. I go up 1 and over 4. So I will go up 1 and over 4. Can't forget the x. And my final equation will be negative 1/4 x plus 6. For number 3, let's find the y-intercept. This is the point where our graph meets the line. It is at a positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know our y-intercept will be positive 5. Now let's find the slope. If we start at the dot of the y-intercept and follow it up, we'll go up 1, and we can go over 1 right away, and we will meet our line again. So our slope will be 1 over 1, which is equal to 1. And when the slope is simply 1, we don't actually need to put anything in front of x, so we can just leave it as x, making our final equation y equals x plus 5.